Welcome back, race fans, for a new one out here at Ninth Gear Broadcasting. We are going to be going out to Atlanta tonight. Kevin, how are you doing tonight? Guys in the booth again, as always.
Yeah, you know, I'm doing good. Not sure why. There we go.
I had to hide it there.
Not sure why that was popping up, but yeah, I'm having a great day. You know, good Christopher Bell win earlier. I'm excited. Can carry that momentum. Carry that momentum into Atlanta, the 2008 version of the track in the trucks tonight with CMS. Super excited for that.
You know, this is going to be our first broadcast out here at Atlanta, so I know I'm very, very excited especially after watching the official Atlanta race today.
Yeah, and you know, it was a good race. There was a lot of incidents in that one. Let's hope, you know, the 167 laps we have tonight is a little more clean than they had. Actually, I suppose it was alright. Just a lot of single car incidents earlier, but I think it's going to be an exciting one. I think we're in for a lot of action. Very easy to pass on this track. Very fast. A lot of different lines. Just stuff like that.
Yeah,
Should make this one exciting.
definitely gonna make it a very interesting race here, no doubt. I do believe the qualifying is wrapping up here, so we are going to take a look here if we do have our grid results. And yep, we are on to the race real quick, so we are just now waiting for those results for the grid to come our way. I believe it is being sent up to us as we speak. And I know this is always your favorite part, Kevin, but would you like to take away the grid?
Let's do it.
All right.
And on your pole, Caleb Colburn with a great lap time, and on his outside is going to be Brian Zabelski. In that second row, you got Ray Partridge and Jay Dargert. Third row, we're going to see Chris Hudson and Tim Collier. Fourth row is going to be Davis Braun, your season leader right now. And on his outside, we're going to see Miguel Colon. Next, we're going to see Drew Lidke and Nicholas Braz. Sixth row, we're going to see Anthony James, and on his outside, Pierre Robitaille. Next, we're going to see Miguel Romero and Matt Ramona. After that, we're going to see Guillermo Siguenza and Jose Medina. Then we're going to see Brian Fackler and Noah Loveridge. Next, we're going to see Tommy Mitchell and Mike Higgins. And rounding it out, we're going to see the janitor, Dennis Pitzenbarger, and on his outside, June Martinez.
Boy, it is going to be an exciting one out here, Kevin. I know just after picking up a couple things from the actual race that happened out here today at Atlanta, it's the track conditions and just the state of this track, it definitely makes things very, very tough for drivers, no doubt.
Yeah, and we're going green this time by. It's going to be one up pace lap, and then we're going to be straight into the action. I'm excited for it. I think, I don't know, Luke. Who do you think is, the guy to beat out here tonight?
It's always tough for me not to bet on the janitor back there, Dennis Pitzenbarger. He's had a strong he's had a strong run out here the last couple races we've seen of him, but it's anybody's race out here really. It's going to be a long one. I believe we are looking at a 167 lap race out here tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe we are in for a long one out here tonight.
It's going to be exciting. I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, I did comment on it a little bit earlier. These track conditions are definitely going to make things a little interesting out here for the drivers as we go and take a look at the weather conditions of the track out here, and it's going to be another 69-degree day out here at Atlanta with a 30% precipitation percentage and a 79-degree track temperature. So nothing too out of the ordinary here, apart from what we usually see out at this track, but still, nonetheless, this is not a very easy track. It definitely requires a little more skill than those super speedways, so definitely going to shape things up here.
Yeah, and just a reminder of your point standings in the CMS Trucks Series. Actually, I'll get to that here in a second. We're going green, Luke. Pace car is in. Green, green, green. Here we go. Let off by Colburn. We're racing, fellas.
Boy, I think the early start there kind of caught us off guard, being super speedway broadcasters primarily. It caught us off guard there, but it's going to be Caleb Colburn leading us off here.
Belsky's looking on his inside already, making it work on the inside. I know that high line can get going, but now they're about side by side with the 57 of Dargert coming in between them, peeking at him. So far, we have a little in-car cam of Caleb Colbert, but
not too sure.
We're gonna get to that a little bit later. I think it's having some issues with that. Yeah. So for now,
get that ironed out later, I believe.
Caleb Colburn leading the race with Zabelski in second, Darger in third, Hudson, Braun, Cologne, Partridge, Collier, Braz, and Lidke. That's your top 10 right now as we are racing in Atlanta. They're coming up close to that outside wall in turns 3.
I was just going to say they were coming
4.
Close to that.
Yeah, Luke, it's a lot of racing ahead of us, but I think we're going to have a nice green race for a while because these guys have already fanned out a little bit more than we're used to seeing them in those heavy drafting tracks. Remember, folks, this is not the current Atlanta package. So what you saw on TV today, the guys pushing each other, staying on bumpers, it's not going to be as much of that. It's the old pavement. There's not as much drafting. It's more about, holding your lines and finding what grooves work. But yeah, it's going to be a different race than what you are used to in these past few seasons at Atlanta.
Hey, absolutely. And as we see these cars going into this, getting ready to round the fourth corner here, we'll go ahead and jump to that cam. You'll just see that that is not an easy turn to take. And I already counted, I believe, 2 cars that have already gave a little kiss to that turn 4 wall already. But especially as we shape out the later half of this race, it's going to start to really become an issue. Turns 2 and 4. This is a very tight track. It's definitely going to make the racing cruise a little more interesting out here.
Yeah, and I've got to agree. It's
a little bit of wall contact back up there by Jay, and we got a car on the inside. It's gonna be Chris Hudson.
Chris Hudson gonna go indoors, but he's coming right back out.
Yeah, he's gonna hold it together. Good on him.
Back on the track, they were able to let him back in, and he's able to stay in P6, so not bad. Ron moves up to third. He started P7, so that's a good run for him so far. Colburn has led every lap of this one, though.
Yeah, he's got a decent lead out here.
Yeah, Zabel's hanging on. It loosened up a little bit, it seemed, when Chris Hudson... Oh, and we got wrecking.
We got a yellow. And there's wrecking going on behind.
In the back, and it's going to be Braz. He's going to go all the way backwards. That's going to be the 14 car of Nicholas Braz.
We're going to have to go back and take a look at that one. I believe he was the only car involved. Let's go and see where that one happened. And looks like he just gets a... I don't even know if that was a little bit of net code there, but it looks like he kind of caught us a little stray end there off of that. I believe that was the number 57 there on that outside line. But, I mean, he's holding that line as high as he can get it. I don't think there's any situation in which he can get any more out of the way for the number 14. But not sure if that was a net code issue there or something, but we'll even go back and take a look at the turn 2 exit, maybe see if we can catch
Yeah, and you can see I don't know who the other car involved was that wasn't Braz, but you can see he kind of gets up into the wall.
Yep, right there. He's riding the wall a little bit.
And I think that just forces Braz into a little slide job, but
definitely unfortunate
altogether
for him. But they do have a faster pair out here, I do believe, tonight. So it's he's not completely out of this one just because he got into that first one, but it's going to result in a caution anyways. So nonetheless, we're going to pace around for a while and get things resorted and resituated as we go and jump back to our leaders pacing around the track at the moment.
Yeah, and not what Colburn wanted to see. As he was gaining quite a lead, but that's the way it goes. There are going to be cautions out here. There's no doubt about that.
Especially on a track like Atlanta, there's just not a doubt in my mind. We're going to see quite a few.
How about Braun? He's already made his way up to second from 7th. He's going to be looking on the outside of Colburn on this restart. I'm sure he's going to be fighting for the lead.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But then again, I don't think these guys are going to try to test things too early. I mean, it is a long race, so these guys are in for the long haul. But assuming they stay green, we should be able to run through this one pretty quick.
Yeah, that it is. And, what I was going to add on to when this race just went green that I didn't have time for. Your points standings leaders right now are Davis Braun in the lead with 555, Chris Hudson second with 505, Caleb Colburn third with 498, Brian Sabelski in fourth with 485, and Jose Medina in fifth with 471. So it's a tight race for second right there, within like 7 points of each other. Davis Braun's kind of, blowing him out of the water a little bit, but it's still anybody's season, and something to pay attention to because anything can happen here in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to be going green this time by on lap 10. Not too many vehicles involved in that first confrontation, but still getting things done. Just taking a look at the safety rating of the field out here. many, many A-class drivers out here, but we are going to see 2 D-class drivers, 2 Cs and 4 Bs, so it's going to be a little shifted up around in terms of safety rating out there, but most of these guys know what they're doing, and they've proven already that they can get through many, many laps without a caution here if they put their mind to it.
Yeah, and you know that they have.
Pace truck is in, and boy, he cuts that tight.
That he does. It's a short tri-oval, but we're green with Colburn. A huge jump. That's gonna actually help the 43 of Chris Hudson. Braun's gonna get stuck out there on the outside a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, and we're wrecking on the tri-oval.
Oh, and that's gonna be a big one. It looks.
It's gonna involve 4 at least. And oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna involve multiple trucks just after going green there. And yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look back at that one and look at what caused that. While I believe we try to fix that the in-car cam on the right side there, but you can see they go green right here. All the trucks are getting across the line, and it seems as though it looks like they just got kind of wrapped up back there in the back, and that's going to be the number 6 of Noah Loveridge. Oh, the number 67 goes hard into the wall as well. Yeah, that's going to pile up at least 4 trucks. Not what you like to see here right off the restart, but nonetheless, we are going to be pacing again. And, yeah, that is not what you like to see out here. I'm trying to figure out why we're technically not. There we go. Looks like we got someone betting their money on Higgins tonight.
Yeah, a little. He's running. Let me see.
He is running in P9 right now.
He's running P9. He's running 23rd in point standings on the season. But he only has 1 start, so you know we're not quite sure what he's all about. He could pull it off. We don't really know. We can't really tell based off the statistics, as he does appear to be pretty new. But
we'll learn more as the season goes by, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what he placed in that one race he did run.
I will say I do like the number 02 Amazon Prime truck out there by Caleb Colburn.
Yeah, maybe a hint at him being fast.
It might be. It just might be.
We're 12 laps into this one, Luke. I mean, we've seen 3 or 4 cars be involved in incidents, so not the pace they want to be on.
Yeah, definitely not this early on, but you know, I feel as though these guys will straighten things up. Just get the issues out of the way early, make the mistakes, and make the correct adjustments, so we're not having any issues later on in this race. At least that's what we can only hope for.
Yeah, and you know they're getting some fuel saving in as well. I know they can stretch it about 43 to 47 laps on these tanks, and they could stretch it even further with these caution laps, not wasting hardly any fuel.
I mean, if we're gonna be pacing around this much, it's definitely gonna change the fuel window for these drivers.
I'd say as of right now, based off the caution laps we've seen, we're going to see most of our pits around 50 to 52. I wouldn't be surprised to see it a little earlier, though, if I'm being honest. I think we're going to be going green this time by, though. And it's going to be the command of Colburn for the 3rd time tonight.
Green flag this time by. We're going to see that
and
pace
here comes
truck
the pace truck coming in hot.
Yeah, he always does.
Green.
And we are racing here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Off we go. We can only hope for a safer restart on the green than we saw previously, and it looks like they're going to keep things well in order here.
Yeah, and that it does. Just keeping themselves a little bit more spaced, keeping it... Nobody going 3 wide quite yet. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't really know what to expect, but at the same time, we're going to see 3 wide starting to loom there. The 87 was peeking at it, but he's going to opt to stay behind him here. I was going to say, I don't think they're going to be testing it too early on here just because of how risky it is on a shorter track such as this. But then again, you never know what goes through the minds of these drivers. They're out here trying to get up as many positions as they can at all times. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, maybe some damage on Pitzenberger. He's fallen back to 20th off of 10th, and he's now 7 seconds back. Doesn't seem like his pace.
Maybe just off pace there a little bit. What would you say? Janitor's got some catching up to do, but if anyone can do it, I believe it's him. So we'll jump back to our leader here, and it's still Caleb Colburn. He has led every lap of this race so far.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out, Caleb Colburn has 1 less start than all the other drivers, and he's still 3rd in point standings. So, very impressive driver. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull away with this thing. You gonna go on board with him?
Yeah, we might as well. If I haven't hopping an onboard in a while, might as well. So we hop on the onboard with our leader, Caleb Colburn. Get a little bit of an in-car camera right over there on the right side, and boy, I gotta say, Kevin, I'm quite jealous of that wheel.
Oh yeah, just laser focused for Caleb. I mean, he's making it work out there. Whatever he's doing, it's right.
And it's paying off for him here early. One can only hope that he can continue the success that he's had thus far, and hope he holds it together long throughout this race. And he's still going to be getting it done out here.
Yeah, and we'll pay close attention to him throughout this one, but Hudson now less than half a second back, Braun less than half a second on him. They all have, about the same spacing, it seems, through the first 3 or 4. I don't know if Colburn is losing them or if they are gaining. It seems like it's just back and forth, back and forth. On the straights, it seems like Hudson has the edge, but in the turns, it seems like Colburn gains a little bit.
And we look right here at Miguel Romero and just taking a look at where he's at. He is fighting for 5th right now, but he is quite a bit off of those lead 4 cars right now. He is about 4 seconds back, I want to say, or he's going to be here after these next couple turns. But, maybe he just gets a couple cars behind him and gets things in order. He should be good to go. As we look off the rear of his bumper here, it's going to be the number 87 of Miguel Colburn, catching up to him quick, and hopefully they can make something work out here. And I know we point out every night, Kevin, the Pepsi car. We're seeing some Pepsi trucks out here tonight early on.
Miguel Romero. And that we are. I know we have some viewers that like the Pepsi cars, like the Coke cars, but it's a good-looking car. It's a Jeff Gordon car.
87 sliding a little bit there in the exit of turn 2, and we just talked about that exit of turn 2 and 4 is going to really start to get shaky here late on into this race when the tire wear starts to become a factor for these drivers.
Yeah, and they're getting slippery already, and they're only about 15 green laps in, so... how about Hudson? He's now almost on the 1 or 2 car length away from Colburn. He's gaining fast. Let's take a look at him.
Gotta see my favorite cam first. Who are we hopping on?
Hudson. 43.
Yeah, he's running pretty tight there to Colburn right now.
He's caught him. Hudson trying to show us our first lead change of the night, as it's been the Colburn show so far.
Yeah, he's getting close to his bumper here. You gotta wonder if he's gonna start considering that pass with enough speed, but then again, with this current track layout, you gotta be a little easy going into these turns. I know if you ride that inside line for a little too long, it can definitely burn up the tires and slow you down a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that second groove that Hudson just took, I think that's going to be the money groove here, at least early in these stages.
I have to agree. Look how much more speed he has on the exit of this turn here over Colburn.
He's getting the speed, and it's less risky on the tires, I think.
Yep, we're going to see the pass here. He's going to go for it on the outside. Chris Hudson. And I believe we're going to see our first lead change of the night. And it's going to be
the inside, but there's going to be a lot of speed coming out of the turn for Colburn here. Is Hudson going to be able to No, we're not going to see our first lead change.
Oh, wow. And
Not, not
Caleb
quite yet.
Colburn holding on to it.
Hold him off for now. We have a battle between the first and second. And now the third place is getting in there. You know, they're losing speed with this battle. How about Davis Braun joining the action here at Atlanta? And Partridge, he's up there. I mean, he's a few cars back, but not out of the mix. I'm sure if they start fighting again, he'll get right up there. It's a 4-car shootout for the lead right now. Colburn seems to be holding off for now. It's flip-flop, flip-flop. I know they're both still trying to find which lines work in these battle situations. Hudson looking at the inside here. He's going to be side by side with them. But the exit speed is what's really getting him. You want to go inside for the pass. Oh, and he's into the wall. That's really going to kill the speed of Chris Hudson. He's going to fall back to 4th. Colburn's now leading by over half of a second again. He just got a little loose and hit the wall there. I don't know if he's going to have any damage or any issues. I would not assume so, but not great for him. Not what he needed right there. He was fighting for a lead.
It seems as though I've been muted for a while. Not too sure how long that's been going on.
Yeah, and I think the last thing he said was, "Welcome, race fans."
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, not too sure what happened there with Chris Hudson on the exit of turn 2. Maybe just tires getting a little loose there or something, but he seems to be doing all right. He's filing in right behind Partridge here.
Yeah, and they're only a second, 0.2 back. And, we're staying green through this thing. Or we're not going to be staying green through this thing. So, I mean, you can, if you have a fast car and you're staying in the top 5 or so, I don't think he has any problems with getting out of that mess and falling to the back of the 4-car line.
Yeah. Chris Hudson looking at the outside line here. He's going to have some speed going into turn 1.
Yeah, and he's right back to battling him and Partridge this time by.
Ooh, a little bit of contact there with that turn 4 wall there for Caleb Colburn. We hinted at it earlier on in this race, and we did mention it just a little bit, but those exits of turns 2 and 4 are going to really start to become an issue here as these drivers are going to start to... tire wear is going to start to take into effect here later on in this race.
Yeah, and I got to agree. I think it's going to be an ice show out there here in a little bit. Everyone's going to be sliding around. Everyone's going to be trying to do what they can. It's going to be a lot slower. Everyone's going to be more careful. I don't think I'm going to see much hard racing.
Yeah, one can only guess here as we are still very early on into this 167-lap race. And we're going to have a yellow flag out here as we scramble to try to figure out where that one happened. Oh yeah, we're going to see some smoke there. Jose Medina is going to be involved in that one, and we're going to go back and take a look at what caused that one. Chris Medina is going to be one of those trucks involved here. And yep, looks like he just gets into the side of the number 45 there. Oh.
Yeah, and that 45, that's going to be Brian Fackler, and I think Fackler got a little bit loose, came up the track a little bit, and they just got into each other. Let's go back and take another look at that one.
Yeah, we'll actually go and take a look at the rear, or we'll hop on the onboard of the number 14. I feel like that might give us a better view here of what happened there. And that's going to be the onboard of Nicolaus Bros here, and he's going to take a look here at what happens in turn 1. And looks like the 45 just gets a little high, and whew, good on Bros for avoiding that one and keeping his car clean, but definitely not what you like to see there for Jose Medina. Very unfortunate beginning to this race for him, that's for sure. I think he's gonna take the tow here.
Yeah, Medina just can't get it going again, so he's gonna have to take the tow. That's gonna kill a lot of his time, especially at these shorter tracks. You know, we see tows a lot at Daytona and Talladega, and you know it's possible for them to get back on the lead lap because it takes so long for the pack to get around the lap while he's being towed. But it doesn't take that long at Atlanta. It takes about, you know, 2/3 of that amount of time. So we're gonna see cars rounding quicker than we would have at a super speedway, and it's just gonna put him laps down, taking that tow.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate, but with still a lot of racing left tonight, it's he's definitely not out of it, but definitely he's gonna shake things up here for him later on in this race. I believe Caleb Colburn is going to be your leader here. I do believe these two guys up front have not elected to take their pits yet. We'll actually let's take a look here. And yep, those two guys up front running P1 and P2 neither have taken their pit yet, so we expect to see them likely going in this time by. But it appears they're going to stay out here. Maybe a little different pit strategy on those two guys running up in P1 and 2, but definitely going to shake things up here as we're going to pace around again. They're going to start to file up too wide here. You know, I do believe if we look at one of the front cameras of some of these cars here, I know that some of the guys have been strapped up with them, but yeah, we look right there, the Champion Motorsports banner up on the top hood of the car. I know a lot of the guys, I think that was put out for some of the drivers tonight, so a lot of the guys repping the Champion Motorsports banner up on the top of their car. Always like to see it. Representing the league out here.
Yeah, and a lot of good-looking cars here. A lot of the same cars we saw last week at Daytona. There's a lot of unique schemes.
Yeah, no doubt. I know you're a big fan of that Jeff Gordon scheme out there.
Yeah, that I am.
We're going to be going green this time by out here. And the pace truck will be headed in.
Green, green, green,
And
green.
we are green at Atlanta at the start of lap 34, or 35.
And Colburn's still your leader out here. Loveridge now in second, and Hudson in third. Cologne, Partridge, and Braun. That's going to be your front six.
Seem to have a truck on the apron there.
It's going to be Siguenza, I think. I might be wrong on that.
It's tough to say, but they're going to get things straightened out. Back in order regardless, so. Yeah, how about, ooh. I think we just saw a little bit of that slippage in the exit of turn 4 from Caleb Colburn here early on. Not too sure if that was a tire thing or a bit of heavy throttle response there. Tough to say, but these exits of these couple turns are going to really start to get interesting here now.
Yeah, Colburn's still your leader. He's gaining a little bit of room on the 43 of Hudson, but that's a fun fight we saw between the two of them about 15 laps ago. So maybe we'll see a second battle between the two of them. As Colburn seems to be going a little bit higher, as opposed to Hudson going like second down the first line through those turns.
Hudson here. He is just staying in the draft with Caleb Colburn, but I think he's kind of running that inside line here, hoping maybe cut down some time and catch up to him.
Yeah, and you can tell he's fighting that wheel. It's sliding. Oh yeah.
We can kind of hear it there on the exit of turn 2. I'm definitely intrigued to hear what the exit of turn 4 sounds like here.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
cutting it right up against the wall. He's staying very steady, though, on where he is in regards of Colburn. How about Cologne? He's made his way up to P3, and that's what he's fighting for right now.
Yeah, you know, he's got the number 25, Davis Braun, behind him, and hopefully they can make their way up there to those front two and give them a run for them. But as of right now, it's so far been a Caleb Colburn smoke show tonight. He has led every lap of this race except for the two off the restart. Those two trucks that started before him did end up going into the pits shortly after the restart. I think we're going to start to see the inside line tested for for Chris Hudson. He's definitely peeking at it, and he's getting close on the bumper of Caleb Colburn. He's starting to think about that pass.
Yeah, cutting it down to just 1/10 of a second in those turns on Colburn.
How about it, Miguel Colon? He's catching up.
Yeah, and that he is. You know, he's only 4/10 of a second now. He was running around 6.5 a while back. But he's like Hudson and Colburn. I mean, they're just putting up exact same lap times.
Yeah, they're going to be kind of keeping that same distance off of each other. We've seen all race thus far. But, you know, with it still having a lot of time left in this race, you know, the guys aren't wanting to test things too much. Just wanting to keep things clean for the most part, I believe. Just trying to get these trucks to the end with the most minimal amount of damage as possible. Faster for out time.
Hudson now the closest he's been yet. He's less than 10/10 of a second. He's at 0.08, but he's not gonna get into that turn as well, I don't think. And I think Colburn's gonna get the exit speed here.
Yeah, it looks like it. Chris Hudson's just going to file in behind him again.
He's there, though. I would like to point out, I think the pit window is officially open. I would expect seeing these drivers let it run for probably 5 or 6 more. Or did they all pit on 32?
All of your leaders pit on 32, and it appears... Yeah, it appears just about everybody took the pit on that caution on lap 32.
My apologies then. I think the window is now going to be around 80. About the halfway point of this one. So we're going to see this green racing, these battles for a while.
Yeah, you know, you love to see it, especially on a track like this where cautions are maybe a little more expected. It's nice to see the drivers keeping it clean as much as they can out here.
And how about we go to a crank it up segment? Let's hear these engines roar for a little bit, Luke.
Yeah, you know, I love to hear it.
Yeah, and that was your crank it up section of the race. Just always good to, stop in, hear how these engines are sounding in the turns. And they are purring, Luke, let me tell you.
Hey, no doubt. I know I'm a big fan of these loud roaring engines, but looks like Chris Hudson making. He always seems like he's about to have that pass on the inside there on the exit of turn 2, but Caleb Colburn just taking the exit better, I guess, and just getting a little more momentum traveling through that back straightaway and keeping him in the lead.
Yeah, and with us staying green for as long as we have and possibly could, this lead pack is, all the way into, what is it, 1 and 2 right now, and I can see some lap traffic coming here soon.
Oh yeah, assuming we stay green, it's definitely in their future, but a little bit of wall contact there for the number 87, Miguel Colon.
And he actually passed Hudson, so he was the one looking for the lead.
Yeah,
it's going to be helpful for Colburn. Oh, they're all almost touching it up there. Take a look at our leader's end car. See how he's taking these lines, because whatever he's doing it right, Luke.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, actually hopped on a different cam there, and I really like that one. We're going to have to use that one in the future. Yeah, Caleb Colburn, your current race leader, he's definitely fighting the wear in these turns as you look at his wheel. He is just making those micro adjustments there to keep himself off the wall. You can tell someone has definitely done a practice lap or two out here at Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get up a little bit into the wall there, but he's going to retain most of his momentum, it seems.
Yeah, and it sucks you in there coming out of the exit of 2 and 4, so... Oh, and we have a car stopped maybe on the track? Trying to get into pits.
Maybe some issues there for them. Yeah, Caleb Colburn, it has been a show for him tonight so far. He has led just about every lap.
Yeah, and very impressive, especially at these I would say it's an intermediate track, just long track, but otherwise a lot of mistakes to be made. So good on him for not letting any of those mistakes happen so far.
How about that 87 of Miguel Colon? He's peeking at the inside line, and I think he's going to give it a whirl here as they enter turn 3. And yeah, he's going to have the advantage here on the inside. We might see our first lead change here as Miguel's making a run on that inside line, and they're going to be pretty much too wide now.
Yeah, and Caleb Colburn's led 87 laps this season, so... And that's before the 57 we've seen tonight. So, I mean, if he leads 30 more laps in this race, he's going to tie his, season number of how many laps he's led. So, just an impressive showing here at Atlanta so far.
Hey, no doubt. And if he does end up solidifying it here tonight, I definitely got some questions about that wheel he's got. That is clearly working for him thus far. And currently just sitting on the onboard of Chris Hudson right now and running P3, and just to get a good view of the back end of these leaders here. How about it? Miguel peeking at that inside line again. He's going to run it a little higher here. Hopefully that might give him a little more speed on the exit. How about it? We see those lap cars up there. They're going to be approaching him here pretty soon.
Yeah, that they are. I mean, it's kind of shocking to me to see these guys in second place taking that low line, because it seems like Colburn's staying up on that, 2.5 car lengths up line, which I would assume is just the second line. and he's making that work better than we're seeing anybody else make any lines work.
Yeah, but I mean, you see him lead out here for so many laps. You got to try something. I know at least some of the drivers out here are really wanting for that P1 spot right now out here. So probably some drivers looking to change things up, see if they can find the working method to get around Caleb Colburn. Because as of right now, he has just been dominant in this whole first half of the race. As we approach lap 60 in Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I think they're calling that Atlanta Super Speedway now, Luke, and I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, it's in that weird subsection to where it's like it can kind of be considered a super speedway, but to me it feels more like a speedway. But that's all up to personal opinion at this point. So either way, we are out here at Atlanta, nonetheless.
Yeah, and Caleb Colburn, you're Daytona winner.
He's looking to get the 2-time out here back-to-back tonight, I do believe.
How about Higgins being a lap down, Loveridge being 2 laps down, and Mitchell being 3 laps down? Higgins still searching for that lucky dog. Probably hoping for a caution before they catch up to Seguenza. Let's take a look at the lap times. Fastest lap times of the race. Oh yeah, and I mean, just blowing him out of the water is going to be Colburn. And I'm sure, with all this clean air he has, I mean, he's in a great spot right now. Getting that air in the engine and everything. Great lap by Partridge, though. Yeah, and you see how lap traffic's going into one. Coming out of 4 right now. Going across the checkered right now. So these leaders are going to catch here soon. We're coming up on 100 to go. And so far it's been an exciting one, but it's been a dominant performance by the number 2 car of Caleb Colburn. We've had a few drivers, try to take over for that lead position. We've seen Cologne up there, we've seen Braun up there, we've seen Hudson up there. I think we saw Partridge for a couple laps, but yeah, nobody's been able to do it. Started on the pole, has ran every lap perfectly since then. Brian Zabelski started there side by side, so I guess he was behind them for a few laps, but he's since faded off to P5. Just been the Colburn show so far. But how about the inside? Cologne's looking at it, and he's going to have it going into turns 1 and 2. And this might be that first lead change we see. And he's going to take it for a second. Oh, and Colburn, he hold on to it. Colburn gets loose. He slides around. He bumps Cologne, but Cologne's now out in front of him. And Colburn's lost a lot of speed. Here comes Hudson, and he's going to get around him. Colburn just looking to maintain here, as he's still sliding around on the back of Hudson. Yeah, gonna fall back to P3. How about now P4, and it's gonna be Cologne in the lead now. Hudson behind. Braun got around him, and Sabelski now gets around him as he comes in for his pit. He's gonna come in a little early. Not sure if that's a strategy thing or if it's a damage issue or what's going on. Not a great sequence for him. He's gonna take his green flag pit.
I just keep forgetting my mic is muted out here. I'm definitely taking my number bet on the damage there. I mean, colliding with that wall once as is definitely doesn't feel good, but hitting it twice in a row like that back to back, that's got to give you some concerns for that right side.
And you know, I gotta agree. I mean, he did take a hard hit on that wall, so
Yeah, how about Miguel Colon here? Still, you know, he's going to see his first bits of the lead out here tonight. Got to be good on him. He's got to be feeling good now, getting almost a 0.80 second lead there on second place. He's going to start to pull away here from second place.
yeah. And you know, honestly, I kind of like that pit strategy by Colin. I mean, he took it about 10 laps earlier than he would need to, but if they stay green, he's now on the fresher car. He's going to be putting up damn near a second faster lap times than the rest of the guys. And this can really be his opportunity to make up some time on the front four that passed them.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting to watch these cars as they come out of the pits off with the fresh tires, just compared to the guys that, you know, may not have the freshest of tires. It definitely shakes things up and makes it very interesting to see how they take the turns compared to some of these lap cars. We'll see that here as he is flying up hot on Nicholas Rose here. Yeah, you can hear it. He's just able to stay on the throttle a lot more in these turns when he goes up high. And look at that speed on the exit of turn 2. He is flying.
Oh yeah, he is moving by him.
Maybe we can get the in-car of him real quick, or
all right.
Little picture of him up, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, you're looking at that wheel right there. It's gonna. It just by looking at his wheel right there, you just see he's a lot more confident taking these turns, and a lot less slippage going on with that fresh set of tires. Just a reminder, these drivers are going to be starting with 3 extra sets of tires apart from the set they started with. So, Caleb Colburn definitely probably got 2 sets left, if I had to guess now. Especially by the way he's flying around these cars right now. He's already making up positions. He's back up into P15. And how about Chris Hudson back in P16 now? Not too sure what happened with him, but I think he took his pit. It's still going to be Miguel Colon here leading us off, as he's starting to run into some lap traffic up here, going across the back straight away.
And you know, he's got a second and almost a half on Braun, so he's putting up great laps.
Yeah, look who's catching up to the leaders. The man that was just there, Caleb Colburn, looking to be back in the on the lead lap here, and he is moving. Sliding right around.
Right around them.
And yeah, I mean, just look how much faster this car is going here on these exits. I mean, it really goes to show how much the tire wear plays into effect here.
Oh, and here we see the pits starting. We're going to see Braun, we're going to see Zabelski as they're going to enter.
Oh. Colon getting a little loose back there, it seems, in the exit turn, too. You know, he's got
he's going to be looking to take his. Yep.
Especially after seeing Colburn
just absolutely
fly past him on those
rocket
fresh
shipping
tires.
by.
Yeah. Definitely making those guys on the in that lead group consider getting fresh tires. Oh, Partridge taking a glance there at the inside. He's not even going to be on the lead lap, but that is quite the paint scheme there.
Car of Loveridge, not Partridge.
Loveridge, sorry, Loveridge. boy, either way, that is quite the paint scheme, I must say.
Yeah, it is.
I see a little palm tree on the back somewhere. That's nice. And your leaders are still going to be staying out here.
What about Colburn? He's back into P9. I mean, he is moving.
Yeah,
Zabelski and Braun way behind after taking their pit, but they were able to stretch it a good amount longer, so we'll see how that all plays out, knowing that he's on a different strategy by about 10 laps.
Yeah, there go your leaders. It's still going to be Colon here, still leading us off. He's definitely got to be thinking about that pit soon. And yep, there it is. He's going to be going in. I think he's going to be going in by himself here. Yep.
Which there's really nothing wrong with on this configuration of Atlanta.
And it's going to be Ray Partridge here taking his first lead of the night.
And how about Braun? He's moving now. He's on those fresh tires. I'm sure they feel great to be back on
oh yeah, no doubt.
these fresher tires. But Colburn now has about 11 seconds on Braun and Sabelski, who were running right next to him before everything got shaken up. So the fresher tires really helping. Something to keep in the back of your mind, you know, when you want to take your pits and what you want to do with them.
Really working for Caleb Colburn, that's for sure he is. Still just making up time on these guys, and there is no tomorrow. He is up into P4. How about that?
And everyone in front of him hasn't pit.
Yeah, he's gonna gain on him fast here. Just a reminder, Partridge still hasn't come in for a pit yet. Yeah, the field gonna be very, very spread out here. I mean, not trying to say the track is small by any means here, but with all the cars spread out this much, and with us taking all these green pits, it definitely makes the lap traffic situation interesting here.
Yeah, and you know, it really forces some of these guys off their desired line because, you know, the lapped cars are going to want to go high, but I know a lot of these guys like going high, so it's going to shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling a caution looming, but
Colburn now passing Fackler, who hasn't taken his pit. Hudson also passing Fackler. Hudson's right there on.
Fackler's going to take his pit.
All right, Fackler's coming in, but how about let's remember Hudson, who saw
we
the
got
strategy.
Some smoke, I think. And yep, we got wrecking. It's going to be Mike Higgins.
Yep,
it's going to be happening in front of him.
Oh, he's.
I think we're going to stay green here, though.
I will sort it out.
We'll just maybe take a quick glance back at what happened there. It says that it involved Mike Higgins here. And yep, look at that. Those tires just give out, and he slides down onto the apron, but he keeps it off the wall. He doesn't get near any cars, so he kept that clean. Good on him. But we'll go ahead and jump back live back here. And
like I was saying, Hudson saw Colburn take that strategy a little early. Hudson did come in about 2 laps after him, tried the same thing, and now they are both dominating this race, with Hudson gaining fast on Colburn. He's within a second of him now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. And and there's the pit for Patridge, and it's going to be Caleb Colburn taking over here again on lap 84 at Atlanta.
And don't forget about Hudson, because he is coming, and he is coming fast. He's on just barely better tires, but I don't think that's the difference maker here.
Yeah, he's just trying to stay in the draft of Colburn up there, and he's going to like to take that middle low line, probably cut down on some time, and looks like it's going to work here. He's gaining time on Colburn here pretty quick.
And we're officially at our halfway point of this race. And a lot of racing to come, though.
It's going to be Patridge there. He's going to be on that inside line. He was your leader just a few moments ago before he went on his pit. believe Chris Hudson is going to be thinking about that inside line pretty soon. I wonder if he's debating on getting the pass and taking this glance at the lead here. And yep, he's going to get his nose down. He's got the inside line. He's going to be clear all the way through, it seems. It's going to be a... Boy, it's going to be close going into turn 1 here.
I think he's going to get him through 1 and 2, I'm not going to lie. He seems to have the speed in these turns.
Yeah, he does have the pressure truck, so...
Ooh, he slides a little. He's not going to be clear. We're side-by-side racing here at Atlanta.
Yeah, it's going to be a drag race for first here between Chris Hudson and Caleb Colburn. Chris Hudson getting the edge here as we go across the tri-oval. And this is really going to show which line is working out here tonight. You know, if that outside line is working, it's going to keep Colburn in contention up there on that high line. But at the same time, you know, the fresher car, that inside line may operate better. And yeah, Chris Hudson's going to take the lead here. And that inside line with the fresh car is going to work for him. And as soon as we say that, Caleb Colburn diving for the inside. Remember, his truck is a little... Ooh, and yep, he's going to slide a little bit going out of turn 4. I was just going to say, remember, he does have he has been out here the longest between the two of them.
Yeah, he's been out here for about 20 laps. Most out of anybody on the field, actually.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Hudson's going to start to get some space here with the fresh truck. Yeah, looking at Davis Brown here, he's going to be almost 4 seconds back from these leaders, but he's making up some time slowly but surely. So
he's making up time fast.
Actually,
he's on about 10 seconds back. Strategy, and he was 7 seconds back on him momentarily, or like 5 laps ago. So he's really making up time. I think he'll be the guy to watch once he gets within a second or so. I'm sure he'll give us a show.
Oh yeah. Then we look at P4 and 5. That's going to be Polone, and you'll have to remind me how to say that last name.
I think Zabelski. That'd be my guess.
Zabelski. All right. Just want to make sure I'm saying that right. So yeah, it's going to be Zabelski and Polone here. They're still going to be, regardless, about 6 seconds back from your leaders here.
Yeah, and we only have we only have 10 cars on this lead lap now, and not sure why that's up, but wait a second, get that off the screen. All right, yeah, that thing's been coming up by itself all night, so not sure what that's about. What I was trying to get at is we only have 10 cars on the lead lap out here.
Yeah, you know,
over half the field's a lap down.
A caution would change things, but at the same time, with as long as we've been green, at the pace we've been going and the intensity of the track, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we stay green all the way through.
Yeah, and you know, even a caution, it'd only bring back the janitor. Everyone else would still be a lap down.
You know, speaking of the janitor, let's go ahead and take a look at where he's at right now. He's going to be on the front end of the back straightaway. He's definitely got some room from P1 as they're going into turn 1 and the exit turn 2 now. So he's got a bit of room here to hopefully make things work and stay on the front of the lead pack here to prevent, you know, slipping a second lap down.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you a little trivia, Luke. I'm gonna ask you, who has been sim racing the longest in this group?
This
guys.
Current group.
And this answer that I've been provided, I'm not sure if it's accurate. It might be racing in general, but the question that was presented is, how many years have you been sim racing?
Oh.
So.
I'm gonna take my guess is gonna be Chris Hudson. I'm gonna say Chris Hudson, and I'm gonna say what, 5-6 years?
And the answer I was provided with was Pierre Robitaille, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, may that be any type of racing in general? Possibly, but still very impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Let me take a look and see. Chris Hudson not in.
Pierre is going to be your race control of the night tonight, so.
Okay, Chris Hudson been racing 25 though, so
Wow.
you were pretty close.
Very. Is still going to be Chris Hudson out here today. Holding strong, and Colburn following almost 2 seconds down now, and he's going to start to feel it in that truck now. That tire wear starting to play a factor here, and I believe Davis Braun is going to take the pass on the inside, and yep, he is clear.
Yeah, I think at this point Colburn's almost just hoping for a caution or something because his strategy is it's starting to fade a little bit. I won't lie. I mean, he has almost 30 laps on these tires.
As we look at those 3 trucks, you see Colburn, his last pit was lap 68. So between the 3 of them there, Colburn's going to have the oldest truck out here and the oldest set of tires, followed by Braun, then Cologne.
Let's take a look at Hudson's. I think he went at like 70 even, if I had to take a guess. I know he went right after Colburn went.
Not too sure why it's not showing me. I think these guys need to catch him in order for it to show the battle box. He needs some other trucks around him to be, battling him.
I see.
Still a little over 1.5 seconds up on those 3. They are gaining, so they should be catching up here before too awful long.
And yeah, I'm actually looking at the pronunciations of these names, and it's Shabelski.
Shabelski, okay.
Brian Shabelski. So we screwed that one up. That's nothing new.
If there's one thing you can count on for ninth gear broadcasting is butchering every name that isn't basic as hell. So.
Yeah, we're not messing up names like Chris Hudson, though. I think we got those under control.
Oh, yeah. How about Miguel Colon here? He's going to be about a second back now. He's gaining on Chris Hudson. He's gaining fast with Davis Braun behind him.
And, Cologne's going to be going for the pass on Hudson here soon, I'd imagine. He's really putting up good times to get close to him. So that's going to be interesting to see. It seems like, I don't know, it seems like we were more spread out a while ago as opposed to how we are right now. It seems like it's a little bit more pack-oriented. A lot of, large gaps in the field. One of which is
you can just see the pressure
right.
car out there. Look at that.
Yeah, he's got to pass
you see
the
Hudson
E's.
pit lap 71.
Okay.
So definitely Colon here with the pressure truck out here. He's going to be making that inside line work with the pressure set of tires. I believe we're going to probably see the pass going into this
the wall
turn.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen right into this turn.
Oh, he's going to let off.
Yeah, maybe not. Oh, yep, there it is. We're going to see the pass. And they are side by side going into turn number 1. It's going to be Miguel Colon here taking his, I believe, his second lead of the night.
Yeah, and that's going to drop, some of the guys like Colburn back 3 seconds, and Hudson's just going to start fading too, I think.
Yeah, the older trucks are definitely going to start to show here. You know, we're 100 laps, well, you know, a little over 100 laps into this race so far, Kevin. It's been pretty interesting thus far, and still 10 trucks on the lead lap, and that window, I believe, is going to be closing here before too long as they are approaching Lidkey here. So he's just rolling down the back stretch all alone here, but those leaders, they're going to be starting to move, catch up on him pretty quick, I imagine.
You know, look, I'm going to shoot you a theory real quick.
Yeah.
The guys that pit around 78 as opposed to like the 68 to 71 that we saw some of the earlier guys pit on, I think if they start saving some fuel, they can make this a one more pit race by going in around 120.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think, you know, Colburn, I don't think Hudson, I don't think those guys can make it. And I also don't think some of these guys that have been racing too hard are going to make it on tires. But it's definitely something to pay attention to.
Oh yeah, no doubt. How about Chris Hudson? He's catching back up here a little bit to Cologne, but as soon as I say that, he just has to take that line a little higher. And it seems as though he's catching up pretty good in the straightaways, but in the turns, Cologne's definitely getting the advantages here in the turns. Just being able to run that inside line a little faster.
Yeah, we're going to see a pit from Loveridge now. He's pitting from 17th. Now we're going to see Seguinza pitting from 18th.
Yeah, I expect that we're going to see probably a nice handful of pits here in the next coming laps.
If these guys do want to try to extend it to a one pit race, they're gonna have to at least hold it off into 116-ish, 18, or probably like 118-ish. Yeah, probably about 118. They're gonna have to at least hold it off till they want to try for it. So, you know, we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, I mean, as many laps as we've seen green so far, his strategy definitely being a big factor here as we approach the later stages of this race.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, it's a game of numbers at this point. We only have 10 people on the lead lap. I know a lot of these guys that are 20-30 seconds back are going to try anything they can to get back up into the bunch and get themselves in a victory lane, but definitely some strategy is going to have to happen.
We're going to slowly start to see Hudson fade off from Cologne here. Yeah, he's going to slowly start to fade back here. Just due to those weaker tires in the turns.
Yeah, and Hudson's starting to really lose Cologne now as he's going almost a second back. Just taking that far high line and trying to preserve his tires as much as possible. Colburn now 5 seconds back. He's in 5th.
They're going to be approaching Drew Lidkey. I did comment that they were going to probably be catching him before too long, as he has been stranded out here in no man's land with nobody but the leaders behind him. So he is unfortunately, I believe, going to fall a lap down here shortly.
Yeah, and I would expect a Colburn pit anytime now. He pit on 68. It's 113. That's going to be 45 laps. And like we said, our window here is 43 to 47, assuming they didn't save. and he didn't. He's been stretching at green this whole time. So expect a pit from him anytime now. Some of the other guys can let it ride a little bit longer. Really tough situation he's in right now.
Yeah, but that's Atlanta for you. Things can change in an instant. One caution, and this could completely shake this race, throw it on its head here.
Yeah.
As we approach the later stages of this race, these guys probably going to be racing it a little bit harder and maybe trying to dig into that inside line a little more, and definitely going to maybe shake things up here in the exit of turns 2 and 4.
Yeah, and Cologne now over a second outside of Hudson. He's just, doing his thing out there. Yeah, and there's the pit from Colburn. He's going to head in. That's probably going to kill his chances at stretching this to a last pit race. That's going to have to be 51. Which, is possible if he really starts saving fuel, but not what you want if you're him. I think if these guys out here get 3 or 4 more laps in before they pit, they're in a really good spot in this race.
Late Sunday night, Kevin, I personally enjoy just watching the race, just racing in general, but it's always nice to go watch the guys do it out there on the real track and then get to see our own little slice of the action out here a little bit later in the evening. And just seeing the difference between the competition and just seeing how different these guys take the lines and just the differences between the tracks too. And just looking at the older Atlanta compared to the new one, there's definitely a lot more room for drafting in the new Atlanta. I think in this version of Atlanta, it's a lot more about which lines you take, just trying to hold on to your tires as long as you can, especially in a long race like this.
Yeah, and I gotta agree. I mean, I personally, people shit on it a lot, but I personally really like the new Atlanta. I think it keeps the races more exciting, more tight. There's still a lot of strategy to it. It's not like, a Talladega or a Daytona where it's just super long straightaways. It's still only a mile and a half, but I really like the concept of the new one. This is fun racing, but this is, about what we see from a lot of the other tracks in the circuit.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool if NASCAR in general just started putting in some more tracks. You mentioned we started getting some more tracks from around the country.
Ooh,
a lot
yeah.
of, different tracks, different layouts, different ways you got to take the lines.
I don't know. I feel like they got all the decent tracks that are currently built, and I don't know if they're making enough money to start building new ones.
Hey, I'm just saying. You never know. There might be some hidden gems out there. You never know.
I'll raise you a question, Luke.
Chris Hudson here.
I'll raise you a question.
Yeah, what do you got?
We got the street race in Chicago. We see every year in NASCAR where they just run like 50-some laps of the streets of Chicago. What other cities would you want to see a street race in?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'll tell you one I would really like to see it in. I'd like to see one in either San Diego. Think about San Diego. The super steep declines, that can make for some really, really high speeds. I think that would make things pretty cool. And then another one, I think maybe either like a city in Texas, like Dallas, or even Miami, maybe down in Florida, something like that. I think that'd be pretty sweet. What about you?
Yeah, Vegas comes to mind.
Yeah, the Vegas Strip is sweet. It is pretty sweet, I can't lie.
How about Seattle, like waterfront?
Ooh. Maybe a dash through the redwood forest too. Maybe have an outlap where it goes out around the fucking woods or something.
Man, that'd be a fun race, and damn things happening again.
Be, just saying hello here on lap 122.
And you know what? Why not take another look at the in-car of Colburn? He's the third car lap down right now. He's probably zooming because he just came out of the pits.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Let's go and
see what he's up to right now.
Here. Yeah, if you viewers can't tell, this is our First time trying to use the in-car cams.
Oh, they're damn last, too.
Still having a lot of issues with it, it seems. So maybe some details to iron out here. How about it? Only 7 trucks on the lead lap as of right now, but still a lot to take their pits and a lot more racing still left to go out here as we're approaching lap 124. It's still going to be Miguel Colon.
Yeah, and here comes the pit from Braun. That's expected. I think they're going to have it. They're going to need about 43 laps to get to the end of this one, and I think they've got that with ease. Colon's still out there putting in good laps. I mean, this is his race.
I mean, as long as his truck is still performing, you gotta. If you're him, I think you're just sticking it out and staying out as long as your truck physically feels like it's able to keep hanging on and just keep pushing away from these guys behind you.
Yeah, but if you think about it now, Braun's going to be coming out of the pits, and that's going to be his main competition in this one. And he's going to be coming out with a lot of speed.
Yeah, definitely the pit to come soon, but interesting to see how long he's going to stretch it out here for. And he's going to come in right now on lap 125. It is going to be a race through the pits here for Miguel Colon. How about a name we haven't talked about much tonight? Tim Collier. Or Collier, sorry. I feel like we haven't talked about him much, but he's gonna come into the pits here as well, and he's gonna be riding P3.
Yeah, and he's stayed on the lead lap. He stayed out there. Very clean race. Been bouncing around like P6 through 8, I want to say. And it's just he hasn't had as much speed as we've seen out of a few of the front runners, so not a perfect race, but definitely going to be in contention for that top 5-ish area.
Yeah, and how about Chris Hudson? He's got a fresh truck. He is up into P2 and he is moving. Really digging making that inside line work here. He's going to be gaining a lot of speed on Partridge here.
Partridge,
sorry.
In a pear tree.
Oh, and he's going to come sliding into the pits here. Not what you wanted to see from him.
Oh.
And you got to wonder if that's going to be a... oh, we're going to see 2 of them. Tommy Mitchell. Some issues coming into the pits here.
Off track.
Yeah, it seems like it's just going to be a pit issue here. Just a couple guys, I think they were just, they came into the pits a little too hot. Just resulted in them sliding just a little bit.
Yeah, they don't really have much grip coming in either, but that's going to give the lead to Hudson now. He's got a 5-second lead with Colburn behind him. It's interesting. It didn't look like anybody was going to be able to get around Colburn in the beginning of this race.
Yeah, but... things do happen. I know he had a little bit of a wrestling match there with that turn 2 exit wall. That's changed things up for him, but he's still going to be gaining time here. He's going to be running back in P2. He's hoping to claw his way back up here and get back up to the front. Maybe, have that chance at first place. It's Partridge and Rose. They're going to go in and...
Well, Partridge and Rose were the 2 we saw just get into it in the pits.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still in or if it's just a bug.
There it is. Shows they're out now. Yeah, they just both left the pits. One can only hope they got in there with no penalty, of course.
Yeah, that's something you gotta worry about if you're them, because it wasn't the cleanest entrance to the pits.
Yeah, but they still got it done. They got in there. That's the important thing. Oh, looks like we might be getting a visit from our Little black box for him again. Yep. He is back. How about Tim Collier? He's going to be right behind the leader here, Chris Hudson. He's got a pretty fresh truck. He's making up spots here, just staying behind Chris Hudson, staying in his draft, and they're making it work here. They're moving pretty fast.
Yeah, and that's going to kill anybody else's potential for the lucky dog if he just stays with Hudson. Because he's a lap down, and he'll be given that if a caution were to come out in these last 33 laps. A lot of green racing, Luke. I mean, we saw 3 cautions very early, and they have really tightened it up since then.
Hey, like I told you, man, they happen early. It seems like with the CM League we've seen so far, it seems like they have their couple cautions early. They have their mistakes early, but they adjust very well and very fast. It really is impressive to see how quickly it can change to a caution every couple laps to a huge stretch of clean laps. How about it? Collier no longer a lap down. He made the pass on Hudson, and he is back on the lead lap here in P6 now. And that is where the cutoff ends on the lead lap here. Only 6 trucks on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, and he's moving. I mean, how about Cologne, though? Look at him go on those gap timings. He's just flying, catching up to Hudson.
Fresh truck definitely starting to show here as he is closing the gap quickly. Yeah, look at that. He is really catching up to Hudson here. Maybe we jump back here to the trucks fighting for the lucky dog right now. It's going to be Miguel Romero, Jay Darder. I believe that's also going to be our number 02 there, Caleb Colburn. He's going to be mixed in with that group right now, getting some draft from all those fellas.
Yeah, and we got 30 to go now, and I mean, Cologne's making up about a second every 2 laps, so I mean, he'll be there with plenty of time. So it's really just going to be a matter of A, do we stay green, and B, is he going to be able to keep his car in shape to win?
Oh, a little bit of contact there. Run. Oh, and yep, there's going to be a little bit of contact.
Oh, and they're both spinning.
Hudson holding it together for the most part, and Hudson's going to hold it together and still hold on to the lead here, but
oh, that's going to kill his time, though. I mean,
that's going to kill his time. Yeah, Cologne is going to be able to get that pass on the inside with ease. And yeah, he is flying.
Was that Medina? Let's go back and take a look at that one.
Yeah, that was definitely one I want to take a look back at real quick. We'll go and take a look back on Chris Hudson, and we'll take a look at how that one happened. And that's going to be the number 187 of Miguel Romero. He's going to be one of the lap trucks here. And it seems as though, yeah, he gets a little bit of a bump on the exit, and Hudson
ran through him, it almost looked like.
Yeah, maybe Hudson.
Let's take a look at the on-car of the 187. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it looks like Hudson got a little, or not Hudson, sorry, yeah, that was Hudson. Got a little loose there. And it looks like Romero maybe not ready for the checkup, just gives him a bit of a bump. Hudson still sliding, wasn't able to adjust correctly, and that's going to result in a head-on first-8 collision with that inside wall with Miguel Romero.
Yeah, and I'm not blaming Romero, but at the same time, in those turns, you got to be ready for the checkup because they are moving slow through those turns. These cars
especially
are
just
sliding around.
This race.
But yeah, I think it's just one of those things, just an unavoidable incident.
And how about David Braun? He was making up time there for a second. He's not too far back from these Miguel Colon here and his draft partner. it appears Chris Hudson has elected to take a tow to the pits, and he must be suffering from some damage out there, and he's going to drop all the way back to P15, and that, I believe, is probably going to do it for him tonight out here.
Yeah, and Medina down 4 laps, so he was already out of it. Unfortunate for the both of them, but how about Cologne now, your 5-second leader?
Good lord, yeah, he is really starting to get a good lead going on Braun here. Yeah, it looks like some of the lap trucks really starting to become an issue here back in P2 for Davis Braun. Caleb Colburn, another one not to count too far out of it now. He's only 8 seconds back, but he seems to be kind of by himself out there with a couple trucks catching him from behind here in just a few seconds, it seems. Yeah, they're not too far back, so I think he's just hoping to file in with them and maybe try to make his way back up. But how about Davis Braun? He's really starting to make up some time here on Miguel Collin here, and we're going to hop on the onboard here of Davis Braun, actually.
Yeah, he's still running around that 5-second back mark, it seems.
He's approaching about 5 seconds back on the leader here. Cologne here, he's been quite dominant here in the back half of this race after getting the pass on Chris Hudson. Yeah, that is going to do it for Chris Hudson out here tonight, unfortunately. I believe he is going to be out of this race after that. Very unfortunate end of the night to him.
Yeah, just too much damage to deal with.
Especially with this long, this many green laps, you get a wreck and it stays green. You just there ain't really much chances for you to get back into this one. And how about that that truck right there? I will have to figure out who that was. I think I saw the number start with a 15. Have a look here. Who is that in front of him? Sorry truck. I want to take a look at that. That's hilarious. Is that 36 maybe? Tell.
Which one is it?
The truck in front of Colin here.
It's gonna be oh, sorry, like the game.
Yeah, like the game. I'm just gonna cycle through these trucks here until I figure out who it is, because I am dying to know who has that truck. That is hilarious. It is gonna be Tommy Mitchell. What a truck for him, and look at that.
That's a cool truck.
That is pretty damn cool. I can't lie. I know I played a lot of Sorry growing up, Kevin. What about you?
More than I'd like to admit, Luke.
Nice truck scheme, but we jump back and we digress. And it's going to be Miguel Colon here, still leading us off. He's going to be approaching 6 seconds up on Davis Braun here. He's keeping that gap. He's definitely keeping it there and not giving Davis Braun much room to catch up here. As we will be 20 to go this time by. All night so far, it seems like we've been mentioning Colin here. He's been getting it done all night.
Go Cologne.
Cologne, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he really has been dominating. I'm just really hoping he can hold on to it.
Oh, we're going to see the Sorry truck in the wall a little bit back there. Tommy Mitchell seems to be actually turned on the ticker there. Yeah, Tommy Mitchell going to go hard into the wall, and he's going to come into the pits there after that one.
Sorry.
Sorry. Seems Noah Loveridge went off the track a little bit somewhere. sure where that happened. We take a glance at that real quick. He seemed to have went off the track somewhere, and it's going to be the exit of turn 4. Yeah, he's going to dip below the tri-oval there and do a little bit of off-road, but keep it. Oh, get it off the track. Get it off the track. Ooh. And that could have been dangerous. Good on him for getting off the track and getting under. So we can jump back to live, and it's still going to be Miguel Colon here. Lead us off. The gap is still there, but Davis Braun's starting to shorten it a little bit, but he's going to fall off the draft in those 2 lap trucks. I think that's going to start to shrink his chances of being able to catch up to this lead truck.
Yeah, I got to agree. I mean, you saw he just lost a 1/10 of a second, just the second you said that. And, you know.
So you say that, though,
Cologne
he starts
doesn't,
to gain a little,
yeah,
but...
Cologne doesn't really have much draft either, so, I mean, it's a fair battle. Let's take a look at the battle box and see when they pit.
For some reason, it seems like it is only wanting to show us the drivers when they are close to each other for some reason, and with them being so spread out, it's oddly enough not wanting to give us the battle box station here for some reason. But I'm looking at their current pit laps. Miguel last pit on lap 125. Davis Braun pit on lap 123, and then Colburn last pit on lap 115. So he's been running the longest out here. But as it stands, Miguel has the fresher truck out here. So Davis Braun really gonna have to put in some work here if he's gonna want a shot at taking home the gold out here tonight.
Yeah. And
you have to remind me, where do these guys stand on the current point standings for the league right now? Our current like top 3.
Currently, we're looking at Davis Braun in the lead with 555. Chris Hudson in second, so that's a devastating incident for Hudson.
And Black Box coming back
Box,
to say hello.
Nice
to see you again, Mr. Black Box.
P3 is going to be Caleb Colburn. You know, this is going to be an important race for him. He's down a race, though. Brian Zabelski, P4, and then Jose Medina, P5. And Medina's not having a great race.
We've seen some unfortunate stories for a lot of these drivers out here tonight, but a couple triumph stories here for some of these drivers. Miguel Colon here, he's had a very, very strong presence out here tonight. He didn't start off up front. He may not have had the best start in the world, but regardless, he has made his way up here to the front. He has been dominant in the back half of this race.
Yeah, that he has.
How about Davis Braun here? He's starting to gain some time pretty quick on Miguel Colon here.
Who is?
Davis Braun, he's starting to make up some time.
Yeah, he's actually about half a second worse than what he was about 5 laps ago.
Well, he's starting to dig up a little bit here. He's getting down to that 5-second mark. So, I mean, you know, he's gaining a little bit and then losing a little bit. He just got to get it more consistent if he's going to, you know, if he wants to get a shot up here. Noah, I guess we're receiving word here. Noah Loveridge appears to be having to call it, unfortunately.
Throwing in the towel.
Yeah, not what you want to see, but very, very unfortunate. Oh no. Well, you know, when they only give you a short amount of tires here, it definitely makes you got to be careful here. But very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, just unfortunate. We're seeing a little bit of a shootout. Looks like Cologne is going to dominate this one, but 10 laps to go. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
starting
this.
to make up some room here. He's about 4.5 seconds back now.
Yeah, now he is making some good time, and still a little bit behind pace, but definitely getting there. I know that's a lap car right there in front of him.
He's mainly
maybe
just
too
trying to
little,
stay
too
in his
late.
draft. You know, with 9 to go here, I think he's honestly just kind of hoping something happens up there with Miguel Colon here. Maybe just hoping for a mistake or something like that to give him a chance here. 'Cause, you know, with Cologne here having the fresher truck, it's going to be difficult for Davis Braun to make up time here.
Yeah, and Braun losing time again. Yeah, Loveridge, the poor pits, I mean, we see it in these super speedways like crazy when we run them. Just one bad pit and your race is over. But, which crew chief you trying? I tried to... Shit, which one did I try? I don't know. I switched my spotter around too.
Made mine
And,
the southern pick, and then it somehow changed itself to an
cannot say that.
Australian. Well, I have family that are them, so it's fine. Whatever. Either way, I had it at the southern guy for a while, and then the next race didn't change it. It's now locked as an Australian guy, so I don't quite know who my spotter is.
Yeah, we got 7 to go, and
Oh, he uses an external app for a spotter. That's interesting. I've never even heard of those. I didn't know people do that.
I mean, it's got to be better than whatever
Oh, no doubt.
is in our official races when we're here, you know.
Wrecking in turn 4.
Wrecking in the tri-oval, wrecking in the tri-oval.
Wrecking in the tri-oval, yeah. I'll tell you what, that gets annoying after that. You know, I'll tell you what, it gets a little annoying after 20 laps, too.
C Money, not a huge fan of the stream. Interesting comment from him.
Oh, well.
But we
Can't
have
all be
6 to go.
satisfied.
We have 6 to go, and it's looking like it's going to be the Cologne show. A lot of laps led by Colburn, but in these later 50 or so, it's just been Cologne up front with Braun following.
Seems as though that pit strategy by Colburn didn't pay off in the way he wanted.
C Money giving a shout out to Randy.
Eating on the stream and then giving a shout out on his way out. Quite the interesting move, but you know, to each their own, my friend.
We got 5 to go. Cologne's looking for a lap car pass. I think that's going to be
Say, I actually cannot read a number off that truck.
no, it's an interesting scheme, to say the least.
14,
but
the number 14, there it is.
number 14, it's going to be Braz, Nicholas Braz. But yeah, I don't know if he's even going to try for the pass. I wouldn't assume so, unless, I mean, he really gets there, but
Really
he's up.
Have a reason to.
He's up 6.5 seconds. Yeah, Colburn's pitting again, just unfortunate for him.
Yep.
Oh, just messing with us. I got you. And 4 to go. 3 to go, I'm sorry. And Zabelski's now going to hop into that podium spot as Colburn has to take his pit. How about Tim Collier hopping into a P4 spot after the issues with Chris Hudson and then the pit by Colburn, shaking things up.
Yeah, he's one of the league organizers out here for Champion Motorsports, and definitely want to take a quick second to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to stream the league here. I know we've had a great time out here, and it's definitely really nice to see a change up in pace with some of these other races we're used to, and there is a lot of, you know, a lot of laps to go. But it's going to be Miguel Colon here with 2 laps to go here.
Yeah, and he's just, you know, got to keep it straight at this point. Pray he can get around one more time, see that white flag. I'm sure that's going to be a relief. Then bring it around one more time and take the checkered. As Braun's about 5.9 back. Zabelski's about 10.9 back.
Going to be white flag this time by for Cologne here at Atlanta, and the white flag is out. And you know, with Braun 6 seconds back here, I mean, Miguel's just got to take his turns right and avoid slipping here. He's just wanting to finish this race, stay clean, and get through it as best he can. And I believe it is going to be a win for Miguel Colon here, but don't want to jinx it just yet. You know, he's still got a turn left. He is going to come across the start finish, and it's going to be Miguel Colon here getting her done at Atlanta.
Yeah, his first win of the season. That's a great feeling.
Oh, that's a big one for him. And how about it? Your race winner, Miguel Colon here. Getting her done.
and that's going to be Davis Braun running second, Brian Zabelski third, Tim Collier in fourth, and then a little congratulatory victory tap from Braun to Miguel, and fifth place is going to be Jay Dargert. Sixth is going to be Caleb Colburn. Then we're going to see the janitor, Pitzenberger. Then we're going to see Lidkey, Martinez, and Braz, and that's going to be your top 10.
Wow, what an exciting race out here at Atlanta. I know I've commented on it many times in the past year, or at least in the past broadcast here, but it's definitely nice to get the shift up from these super speedways we're so used to. It's very, very nice to, change things up here and get a feel for a different track. And I do believe, are we going to be getting any interviews here tonight?
Yeah, we're going to see what we can do. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to...
I believe we're going to go and hop into the interview channel and get those ready just in case as we watch Miguel Colon here do some victory shitties across the start-finish. As we wait for Kevin and the rest of the guys here to move on over here. He should be joining us here in 1 second. I think we're having a couple of internet issues here with Kevin, but Noah Lover, just looking at your message, what do you mean by custom numbers on the board? I do believe all the ones that we have, like in terms of like the grid over here on the left, I believe those are all accurate. But if it isn't, I would have to look into a couple ways on how to reformat that one. And thank you again, Steve Sly. It's always good to see you out here again, buddy. And trying to figure out where Kevin went here, but let me see if he moved around a little bit. Maybe he's not too sure where he took off to. We'll have to...
There he is.
Seems I was in the wrong broadcast room.
You were.
All right.
All right, and our first interviewee, I want to get in here. How about let's get Caleb Colburn in here. Led 65 laps. Good race for him. Not, exactly the finish he wanted, but let's see what he has to say about this one. Hey, Caleb, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Not the race I wanted, but yeah, finished at least.
Yeah, it was a great start. I mean, you were dominating the first third of that race, and then you got into a little bit of trouble, opted to take the early pit, and then, I mean, it just seemed like it was unlucky the way it played out. Everyone else being able to get in on one more pit, and you needing two. You want to talk us through how that played out?
Yeah, obviously at the first almost half of the race, I was pretty quick. The truck was loose, but I was able to kind of keep it on the edge there on that high line. But yeah, once we got into a little bit of that trouble there, I was losing time, had a little bit of damage, so I just went ahead and came down, tried to get the jump on the guys in front of me, and unfortunately, that little bit of damage I had and kind of the way it played out, it didn't. The fuel strategy didn't go to plan, and I had to also pit there at the last couple of laps, so finished on the lap down. But I mean, overall, it was a good race, positive development moving forward and on to next week.
Yeah, on the subject of having some problems, we had some issues getting the driver cam working on our end. It popped up a couple of times, and Luke couldn't help but notice your wheel. He was wondering what kind of wheel.
Gotta know what's the wheel setup. I'm rocking the G90 or 29 or whatever. It blows. What am I upgrading to soon?
Yeah, I actually had a G920 not too long ago, but I upgraded to the Fanatec CSL DD, and it's been great. And I've kind of put a little bit of money into some other stuff. Got a SHH shifter and a DSD button box too. It's pretty cool.
Oh man, quite the pricey setup, I imagine.
I mean, it wasn't too bad, given what all of it does. But yeah.
Yeah, well, compared to the old G29, it definitely surpasses.
I would agree. Yeah, it's definitely a step up.
Well, thanks again for the interview, Caleb, and congrats on running up front. Not the way you wanted things to end, but all in all, a good race.
Yeah, yeah, guys, I appreciate it.
Yep. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we get ready?
Well, obviously, awesome win there to Miguel. He always is up front there at the end, typically, and me and Chris battled hard for a while there as well. And yeah, I mean, everyone raced clean, and everyone was pretty fast. So yeah, good racing.
All right. Thanks again, Caleb.
Yep, appreciate it.
That was Caleb Colburn finishing sixth after leading 60, I think 64, 65 laps there at the beginning.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Let's see if we can dial up our P3 finisher. That's going to be Brian Shabelsky. He had a great race. I mean, just a very consistent race, Luke. Just able to get it done, get into that podium spot.
You like to see it, especially in those podium finishes.
Hey, Brian, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hey, I mean, it was a great race for you. Miguel, and Davis all on, similar strategies, able to keep it to that, I think it was a 3-pit race. But, just very consistent. We saw time and time again guys going off the wall coming out of 2 and 4. And, that and the pits kind of was the deciding factor of who was running up front in this one. So, you want to talk us through how you were able to keep consistent and get into that P3 spot?
Just watching the throttle inputs. Really, it was a lot of it. Watching real inputs, throttle inputs, just making sure I wasn't doing too much of either at the wrong time. That's usually what gets you into trouble here at this version of Atlanta compared to the redeveloped and redesigned version that they raced at today in real life and at the truck and in the officials this week. This one is a lot more. Requires a lot more give and take, and you just have to make sure that you are giving enough and not taking too much, especially on the exit of 2. That's usually where you get into trouble.
Yeah, and a good finish for you. How can you carry this momentum into next week's race at the Tricky Triangle?
Ah, just kind of same idea. Just be gentle, be kind with a lot of the turns there at Pocono. It is the nickname is apt. It's a very difficult track. It's another track that's going to wear tires out a whole lot. 3 different corners, each is kind of a different line through it, and you just have to really strike the balance between cornering speed and getting the amount of momentum you need to carry on to especially the exits of turn 1 and turn 3 with those long straights.
All right, I appreciate it, Brian. Congratulations on the bronze finish. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we get ready?
Yep. Thanks, of course, CMS and everyone for putting this together tonight. Maconi Setup Shop, official Setup Shoppy NASCAR. Good group of folks. SM Racing Products put together a button box I have, and it works wonderful. I love it. Yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting as well.
All right, I appreciate it, and congrats once again, Brian.
Thank you.
It's going to be Brian Shabelsky finishing third here at Atlanta. Next, I want to get our silver finisher, second place, Davis Braun. Going to try to get him in here next. Button. Hey, Davis, guys in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You got a copy?
Yep. How you doing?
Tired, I guess. That was
It was a long
I
one.
didn't really, yeah, I didn't even feel it until we stopped driving around, and then it just hit me like a wave there. But yeah, overall, really, that was yeah, brutal, I guess.
Yeah, you guys in the front, you were able to keep it clean throughout the whole race. I know the back half had some issues in the first 30, 40 laps, but then it was the longest green stretch we've seen in a while. Just you know, it's understandable why you're exhausted just racing for 120 laps without any cautions. How can you guys do that, and how can you stay in the front while that's being done?
Uh, at least for me, just kind of patience, even though it felt like I didn't really have that tonight. It was just all around kind of sloppy starting from the beginning, I would say, because I know qualifying got extremely loose in 1 and 2, and that just kind of killed the lap. Missed the pit box on the first pit stop and spun the tires. I started second on a restart. So I guess back to your question, I don't know. It seemed like a lot went wrong during the course of the race, but I guess nothing too major, and just kept it clean, and which is really a challenge at this old Atlanta track, which great place to race. Been a while since I've slid around that much on a racetrack. Just every single lap, even on the fresh tire, you're sliding, and makes it a lot of fun. A big challenge, but it was a lot of fun there, and just yeah, managed to keep it off the walls. I think kind of as Caleb said, started using that high line to combat the handling issues on the car, and it just kind of kept it clean the whole race. And yeah.
Yeah, and still leading in point standings this season. How are you going to be able to use that, know that, and prepare for Pocono with that in mind?
Uh, Kind of just the same. Every race, I'm not usually targeting a position. I'm not trying to like, oh, if I have to finish first, second, or whatever. Just always trying to just run my race, run my pace, make good strategy calls, and if that ends up first, that's great. If that ends up fourth, fifth, seventh, like that is what it is, and just um, keep doing what we're doing, stay within ourselves, and take it one race at a time.
All right, thanks for the interview, Davis, and congratulations on the silver finish. Anyone you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, just congrats Miguel on the win. That was a great drive by him, and as always, thanks to CMS for putting on this awesome league, especially Tim, Brian, Caleb, and really had a lot of fun out there. Thanks,
All
and
right,
thank you
thanks
as
and
well.
congratulations.
Yeah, thanks guys.
That was Davis Braun, your second place finisher. Maybe a little bit controlled chaos is the term for how tonight went for a lot of the guys. Luke, just issues, but not big issues, and able to maintain.
Yeah, it's like I commented on earlier. It's nice to see the endurance of these drivers. They kept it clean there for damn near the whole back 3/4 of the race. I mean, we only saw those cautions like that first quarter, so good on them for keeping it clean as long as they did.
Yeah, now we're gonna get on my personally favorite interview of the night on these races. Our race winner gonna be Miguel Colon. Hey Miguel, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I mean, just a great drive for you, like Davis said. I mean, it seemed the whole back half of that race was yours to take, and you did take it. You ended up winning by over 5 seconds. You want to talk me through how that went from maybe a little bit of dominant performance from Colburn to shifted your way there in the back half?
Yeah, actually, I was kind of surprised. I thought we were gonna race the other configuration, like the one that is almost flat out. And then when I saw the old style configuration for Atlanta for tonight's race, I felt more optimistic because I kind of like this type of track. It's kind of like if you hit the groove where you need to hit it, and you save your tires, especially on exit, and keep it without spinning too much, then you can push a little harder. I feel like I had a good battle with Caleb early going on. I tried multiple times to pass him in the inside, but I didn't have enough space, or I didn't feel too confident to push too hard without crashing into him to try to make the pass. And then when I saw that he actually dove early to the pit stop, I was like, okay, he may have to do like another extra stop, but then the fell off on the tire is so big. Like if you pit too early, you're gonna lose that. And at the beginning, I was not too confident, but in my first green flag stop, I was able to hold down the whole group back to the lead after a couple laps. So I felt very confident for the second green flag stop to make the same team, but I didn't want to give it too much run to the other groups in the good tires. So I decided to pay a little earlier of what I was planning for the last run, but in a window that would give me enough time to chase everybody back down to the end. It worked out.
Yeah, and you've only ran two races it seems in this series this season, and two top fives and a win. Just you're kind of behind still on the points just because you haven't ran as many races. But what's the mindset going into Pocono as far as season standings go?
Well, first I need to see if I could make the race. That's with this season has been a little tough. I got 10-month-old baby, a 2-year-old toddler, so sometimes get out of hand at the house. So sometimes I could make it, sometimes I cannot make it. But yeah, I love Pocono. That's another track that's kind of road course style. You need to hit the marks. It's very good track. So I will see if I can make it. If I can make it, looking forward to running with the guys in front. I know David, Caleb. I have raced with them in previous season, and they run very fast. So it's good to be able to, for example, beat Davis in his long run game. That he used to be. He's very good in this type of race scenarios, and beat him in this type of race scenario is good because those are good people that are very competitive.
Yeah, well, it's going to see if the kids are going to let you come continue the success at the Tricky Triangle. Thanks for the
Yep.
interview, Miguel. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we get out of here?
Well, thank you guys for the broadcasting. Thank you to the team of CMS for keeping this season going. I think this is like the fourth or fifth season that we have been racing with the guys. I also shout out to our community from Puerto Rico, Sim Racing PR. And my sponsor, Don't Say Your Machine Shop.
All right, I appreciate it, Miguel, and congratulations on the win here at Atlanta.
Thank you guys.
Oh, look, it was a long one. It was a tiring one, but it was a fun one. We stayed green more than we have in any of the series that we ran in the past couple weeks, but I had a great time. What about you?
It's tough to complain out here. All the crazy action, I want to say, happened early on in this race, but either way, I mean, just a very strong finish by Miguel Colon here. I mean, it was a really fun race to watch, and I know I'm really looking forward to Pocono next week.
Yeah, Pocono's going to be a blast. I personally suck at Pocono. I'm just not a good driver at it. I get confused in my turns, I get confused in my braking points, and it's going to be an interesting one to see what these drivers can do. I'm sure they're better than me, but we'll see what they can do.
I personally prefer the old Chastain wall ride on every corner at Pocono. I seem to do better at that than actually trying to hit the grooves personally. But needless to say, it was a fun one out here tonight. And as always, I want to thank all the viewers for sticking with us here tonight. And I know it's been a long one, and I know most of us are looking forward to hitting the hay and going to sleep here. But any other broadcasts we need to mention coming up forward as we move forward here?
Yeah, we got Pocono next Sunday, gonna be the same time as this one tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we have R&R. Thursday we have Western. These are all gonna be around the 9-10 o'clock time, not quite sure. And then Friday we have Super Speedway Kings at midnight, so that's gonna be an exciting one in the Legacy cars. So yeah, an exciting week coming up.